Now, Andrew, thank you so much for doing this. Bear with me. I'm not a big Hangout host, but we'll have some fun here and talk about what you do and how it can help real estate agents. I have a couple
You're
questions.
natural.
So can you first give us this little bit of background about yourself? And what?
Yeah, for sure. Well, hey, first off, it's great to be here. I've been checking out this group and your Hangouts. Man, this is a cool place to be. Really great content and a lot of fun. I see the groups going nuts already with just like, you're just getting this thing off the ground and getting it going, and it looks like a fun place. So congrats to you all for doing a great job here. And my background and what we're going to focus on today is design, graphic design in particular. And I went to college and studied graphic design right around late 2008, 9, 10. And at the time, got really caught up in social media marketing. Everyone at the time was like a social media maven because Twitter had just come out and everyone's doing Twitter and Facebook and everything. So I'm doing graphics, and then I'm seeing, I was initially getting into print design and doing business cards and helping small businesses print design and banners. And I saw the opportunity with the internet. Obviously, I was using that for years and all that. And I started to focus my efforts on web design and internet marketing. And for a couple of years, I did freelance design, working with just local businesses here in San Diego. Started my own, little mini agency, helping people with their internet marketing and kind of learning as I went. And I was able to pretty much drop out of college, start my business, and just went full blown into that, barely paying my bills, just taking a client every month to pay the bills. But it was fun because it was kind of a real world learning experience, and I dove headfirst into this space. And from there, I met a programmer, and we started looking at ways to build systems. Anyways, in about 2013, we launched a software company, and my role as a partner was to do all the front end design and marketing. So it became a full-time gig for me to just create graphics all the time and brand products. Our customers were coming in, and they were all entrepreneurs. A lot of real estate people coming in as well, because you're hustling right online trying to get more sales. So we were working with a lot of different people, building our company while helping other people build their own companies, all around internet marketing. And we took off. We got lucky. It went rough at the beginning, but we ended up becoming a 7-figure business within 2 years. From 2013 to 2015, we just went crazy, and we were marketing all the time. And my job as doing the graphic design was really challenging. It was running the whole business and doing all the marketing and design. So even for me, being a professional, using all these great tools, Photoshop and all that, it was a huge challenge for me to do this and be creative all the time, because the creative energy that it takes to create promotional graphics. We were doing weekly live Hangouts, actually, is how we started getting our name out there. So we love the live streaming video space as well. And I was not good at that when I started. When we first started, it was before Hangouts. So I did my first webinar, kind of dragged into it. The guy who was doing our marketing at the time dragged me on, and I was terrible. I was so scared of doing live video. And here I am a couple of years later, every single week, basically. Yep. It's become a huge part of our business, because for me, what I found is that, outside of the graphic design, which we'll focus on mostly, but the live video, I got to say, it's given me a pattern, right? Basically I get in the habit of having to go live at some time every week. I love having that deadline every single week. It pushes me forward, because I know that I put it out there. I tell people I'm going to show up live. I'm going to tell them I'm going to deliver something to them. So that means I have to do it. I have to get the work done. And it's been pushing us forward ever since. And at the beginning, that was really critical, because even recording a video or something is so difficult. You take 30 takes to do it, right? But when you're live, it's like, done. I don't know if it was great, but it's out there. It's out of the way. And we had a bunch of traffic on YouTube. People got to know who we were. Yep. And again, we didn't have the greatest personality at the time. We were doing technical stuff behind the scenes. I was a behind the scenes kind of guy doing the graphics. So that's the background on that, and kind of where I've been the last 7 years now. But along the way, what we want to focus on today is how we can simplify graphic design. Because the software development part, we try to simplify marketing systems. And my philosophy is everything I do has to be replicatable. or replicable. I don't even know how to say it, but it needs to be something that I can hand off to somebody and they could get similar results with minimal effort. And we were able to achieve that with our software systems. But we were doing all that and focusing so much energy to build it with the software systems. The design side, I could not get it figured out because I was struggling every day to get up and create new graphics, new promotional materials, content for our weekly trainings, slide deck presentations, downloadable files. It was nonstop and just totally time consuming and energy. It was like an energy vampire. You're always trying to be creative and figure this out. So along the way, I had to figure out how to systematize design. And along the way, I cracked the code. I want to share my findings today. Okay. Is that a pretty good background on what this is all about? That's
awesome. Because you led up to write, Design Hacker, which is your side gig from your main business. Yeah. And so tell us about Design Hacker.
All right. So a couple years ago, I had to do a training on design, and we did a 6-week program. We had 600 people pay to show up and watch this training. And week 3 was my week. I had to do design. And I hadn't really deconstructed my design process before. I knew how to do design with Photoshop and all these fancy tools, but to teach somebody was kind of uncomfortable. I ended up spending, late nights pulling all-nighters, trying to look at my graphics and figure out what the heck do I do, subconsciously almost, to make graphics that look good all the time. Because that was one of the big things that people saw about our company was like, hey, you guys have killer graphics, your stuff looks amazing. And I'm like, thanks, I'm doing my best. But I couldn't describe what that was. So the challenge was to figure that out. And on that training, I did my first attempt, and I actually learned a lot about myself. And I broke it down into 4 unique things that I do. And from there, I started to teach more because people were really excited. I got really good feedback from that training. And along the way after that, I started to look at more ways that I could help other people with their design. Eventually, I figured out how to eliminate Photoshop, eliminate all these crazy tools, eliminate almost all expenses and even design skill, okay? And get somebody who has no design skills, who doesn't want to figure it out, or even pay people. You want to be in control, okay? Because paying people, you're out of control, all right? I can't even find a designer to do my design. I can't pay a guy because it's that hard to find somebody who's got design skill. You don't have the big budget to go hire the best designers because they're already locked in somewhere else and charging a bunch of money. And I can't tell you how many people try to get me to design their stuff. I'm like, dude, I'm busy. I can't do your stuff. So you have limited options other than figure it out yourself or hire some Fiverr guy to get your graphics done. The problem that happens there is you're still not really in control, because if you hire a guy on Fiverr, they're going to give you something usually in a format that you can't even edit. Even if you could edit it, you barely know how to. It doesn't fit in with all your other graphics. So you decide to go to Canva, Adobe Spark. Great tools, amazing tools, what they've done. I love them. And I think they have a huge place and can help you. But they're like bits and pieces of your overall marketing and branding. So now you're putting your effort all over the place. And if you create something cool in Canva and you want to put it into your slide deck presentation, you're like, okay, how do I get that graphic over here or on my business card or on my video? So your stuff isn't consistent. And that's a huge problem with branding. The professional brand, the big guys, their stuff is all on point, right? Everything looks the same. They spend tons of money to get this to look right. And there's this huge gap between high-level design and what the average guy can do with, the crumbs left over here. Figure it out.
The realtor on the street, us, the realtor on the street.
The realtor on the street, yes. So any entrepreneur, it's all the same problem that you're probably facing. Maybe the company gives you some graphics you can use, and you're kind of like sandwiching it with other stuff that you have. So that's the issue that I wanted to solve. And it's been a huge challenge, but it's something that I've been working on the last about a year and a half. And so today I'll show you what I've learned and how you can use it. I want to show you, the 4 things that I've broken it down for good design, consistent design. And then the tool, the best free design tool that nobody is talking about. Nobody on the planet. And I'm probably the only one in the world that is teaching this strategy or this way to design your graphics. And I'll show you some examples today because I'm using it for everything that I'm doing with 22 Social, even the software company. So I'll show you that. And I don't know if you want to talk about 22 at all today.
No,
I was not naming it on purpose.
All night, but just so you know, a lot of the graphics that are with Real Estate Live now are done on your system. And you know that because you can see them. So,
Lance, you the man, dude. I turned you into a
no,
designer.
I'm just scratching the surface, but get into it. Like, keep going here.
All right. So let's do it. Let's start with those 4 things. And you all know I don't need to teach or really babysit you on the importance of design. You've definitely tried yourself to get this to look right. We all want to look better. It's difficult for everybody, so I don't need to go into the importance of that and how it'll improve your marketing. Ideally, it's not going to and you follow that make it less work for you to be creative and get you better results. So I think it's best if I show my screen. I do have a bunch of free stuff for you guys today to help you follow along. And at the end, I'll give you the link, right? So Lance, we'll have the link at the end.
Yep, I've got it.
So I'm going to show my screen. Is that cool?
Very good. Hey, we have one guy that's hopped in with a question. Are you able to take a question up front?
Let's do it. Sure.
Hey, George. Speak. Are you there?
Hey guys, what's happening?
George is close by to you, Andrew, up in LA.
Yeah. What's up, George?
Hey, how you doing, Andrew?
LA. Doing great.
Good, good. No, I'm just jumping back in, re-engaging with everybody, so I'm glad to be on.
Okay. Well, then go ahead, Andrew.
Cool. All right. Oh, now I lost the thing. Here we go. All right, so this is a PDF that I'm just going to breeze through it. You have this yourself, and I have even a video kind of guide to help you with this. But I call this a brand identity starter kit. So this is going to break down the 4 things to help you get a consistent, clear brand.
I'm blank.
You're not blank. Let's see.
Yeah, it's black screen.
That's weird. It's showing that it's working on my end.
There it is. Okay, took a minute.
Yeah, working.
Okay, good to go.
Okay. All right, so let's scroll down, and I'm just going to go through real quick. There's a lot in here. You're going to get this PDF so you can look through it at your own pace. But what I want to focus on today is those 4 things to help you out, 4 things that you could use anywhere with all of your graphics. But I'll specifically show you today how I use them. So here are those options I was talking about. Try to build it your own brand yourself. Hire people to do all this graphics for you. Hire an agency, and there's pros and cons to each of these. And I'm just trying to offer another way, right? So it's kind of a do-it-yourself system to build your brand fast and even simplify every graphic you make, because you're going to have to make a lot of graphics with today's internet marketing. And the idea here is just less time, less money, more results. So here's how it works. I'm going to reveal to you here the big secret, okay? So first, I've got a system to build your brand identity, put the 4 elements together in a simple, convenient way so that you can reference your colors, your fonts, all that good stuff, and I'll go into those. Next, check this out. Using Google Slides to create all my graphics, including this PDF I'm showing you right now. This was made with a Google Slide file. And I've pushed the envelope with Google Slides. And what I like about it is, as I mentioned, everything needs to be replicatable. So Google Slides is free. It's basically unlimited storage. You can make as many files as you want using their tools. So if you make a Google Slide file, you have unlimited storage. If you upload images and stuff into Google, then you'll have to pay a little bit eventually. But using their built-in tools, it's all free. So it's pretty amazing what you can do. And I've pushed the envelope as far as I can, and it's become my one-stop shop for all my graphics. And eventually, using these to attract customers online. And that's the focus. As I said, I've been in both spaces, not just design, but also how to use design to get customers. So everything I do and teach is all meant on helping you get conversions and promote your business more effectively. So step 1, and I've got a video there you can check out, the 4 elements of a world-class brand. So defining your elements is the first step to getting all this to look good. And here they are, okay? Probably could have guessed some of these. Colors, fonts, images, and symbols. It's not rocket science. A lot of people will teach you different things, but I like to keep it down to 4. And you can see 2 different examples here of what that looks like. So a color palette, getting that defined will help you keep your colors consistent everywhere. If you can pick one color that you stick with, it's going to keep your brand recognition, and even save you a bunch of stress over choosing what color to use, because you can just use one color all the time and it'll make everything look good. The fonts can really add a lot of personality to your brand. And as Lance has figured out, sometimes just keeping a simple font is good enough. You don't need to get too carried away. So, but if you want to, it can really be a distinct part of your brand. You look at, restaurants and things, you look at like a Japanese restaurant, you think about the font style, right? You look at a menu at a restaurant, if it's a Mexican restaurant, it's gonna look totally different. It's a lot of personality in a font alone. And you can leverage that to express yourself, or just keep it, low key and not make it a big focal point. So I have kind of a masculine and a feminine example here, where we have this kind of bold, strong, smooth marketing is what I'm calling it. And then Susie Social over here with a little more personality. So it kind of depends on who you're targeting and how your personality is, how you're presenting yourself on your message and your attitude. And, especially doing live video, if you're out here like really aggressive, you might want something more bold in your face. If you're kind of fun and friendly, you can get that across and keep it all kind of consistent. The images, I'm gonna show you where to find a bunch of high resolution free stock photos that you could use. Now, taking your own photos is gonna be the best. I'll show you my favorite apps to edit your photos on your phone. Even there's a ton of stuff out there, right? And nowadays smartphones can do so such high quality photography. It's amazing. So you shouldn't have any excuse for getting good photos. The more personal, the better. But sometimes in your promotions and your marketing and your presentations, you just need some really cool stock photos to get a point across. I'll talk about where to find those. The symbols here, this is one of my favorite hacks of all, okay? Symbols can communicate a message really fast. And as you've probably heard, on online marketing, people's attention span is very minimal. So it's incredibly important to communicate your point quickly. If you're doing some kind of giveaway, a training, or if you're just trying to get them to show up to something, if they're scrolling through their news feed, if you can get a nice, strong, high contrast symbol right in front of their face, it'll catch their attention. If they're looking for a house, and they see a house symbol, it's like not rocket science, they might pause and take a look. If you have something kind of unrelated, it's not going to work out so well. But the question is, where do you get these symbols? Now, I found a site that is very low cost, under $10 a month, and you can get all of these kind of symbols. Everything I have here, even my own brand, my own logo. Okay, you can make a whole logo. Lance, maybe you can comment on that with this site where you can find all these cool symbols.
Yeah, I just grab a couple of different symbols, and I found a way to combine them together and change a couple colors, and it pops, cause it to pop.
You build your own logo, right?
Yeah, I did it. I just took 3 different symbols and made the Real Estate Live Now icon that.
Yeah, so that's even more advanced than what I do. I took one icon and turned it into my logo. So it could be a logo. You can brand yourself behind a logo if you want to do that. Or a personal photo, which I got to say, real estate professionals are very good with their photography. It's one of the only industries where you appreciate the fine art of a portrait photo. And I see them on benches all over the city, so I see all those smiling. But I used to design for a newspaper. On the back page was a bunch of real estate agents and listings, and I had to put together all of their graphics. And they would just throw me something at the last minute. It's like the night before we're going to print, and I'm like, dude, you don't spend any time on thinking about how this is being presented. It's just funny to me. I was just always cracked up about it.
Cool.
But the photos are always good. So those are the 4 things right there. Now, combining them together, that's the challenge. So my big hack is, and you might notice this now when you're looking at some really high-end design, and I'll show you some examples here in a bit, but a background image that combines a semi-transparent photo with your main or one of your complementary brand colors is one of the coolest style effects you could do. And so my design system is built around using a background image with a faded out photo, okay? And so you're gonna start noticing this all over the place. Because what this is really good at on social media and everything is having a dark background enables you to put text over the top of it that jumps right off the screen. So if I put white text over these backgrounds, I'm pulling in my brand color. I'm pulling in a subconscious message from this image And now I have the ability to put text over the top or a white symbol, right, over the top of this background graphic to get a ton of messaging across in a matter of a blink of an eye. So that is a hack that I'll show you more examples of this because it gets really cool what you can do with this. When you get a couple of these pieces together and it starts to just, things start to snap together really quick for you and much more easily. And so you see here now the combination of all these elements. This is just kind of an example of how it starts to look. And the differentiation between these brands, with the only difference really is the font color and the icons and the photos. So that's how you do it. And the consistency is the key. So once you slap all these together, it starts to look pretty sweet. So here's a more filled out example of like a Facebook page with a video on it or something, and your logo there, your cover image. You see how it starts to fit together with that background, with the computers, his photo here, and the text. So now it's just easy to snap all this together. And you want to keep that consistent across everything. So if you're doing downloadable files, a PDF report or a checklist or something, you could use those same elements. You see the background there is a subtle background image and your big icon, some text. This is a Facebook note, which I'm a huge fan of, and a big graphic up there. So any kind of a web page, you can have a big header graphic, right? For your social media channels, you want to have your big cover graphics, and this can remain consistent everywhere you go, even your advertising and promotions. Now, how do you get all this done? Without going into all the theory of it, a couple of my favorite tools to get this done, and what I recommend you do is main color. And if you stick with that, you'll be good to go. It doesn't really matter what the color is, just whatever feels right to you and your personality. I'm not a huge believer in the importance of different colors. I see companies of all different colors have success, but keeping it simple, if you want just blues and whatnot, keep it clean and easy. A cool site that I like to kind of illustrate this design principle is called simpleicons.org. What I like about this is it shows you some of the top brands and their color. So you can start to scroll down. You'll see when you break down a brand into its core elements, it's actually exactly what I just showed you, where it's some kind of symbol, right, with a solid color background with text over the top. And this philosophy here is how I encourage you to make it easy for yourself, is try to get your brand down to this simplicity here. And if you want to find a color that works for you, you can go check out some other brands and businesses that you like or you want to emulate or you just resonate with, and find their color. And each of these has a hex code, right? So if you want to get the LinkedIn, why not, right? If you want to be a super professional and you want to have a solid blue color, maybe you go to Facebook or a LinkedIn blue and you stick with that. Well, what these hex codes are, it's called a hex code. It's just a unique number that is basically identifies this color online. So on any web page, if you pull in this color, it'll always have the same color. And you've probably noticed this in your design tools like Canva and everything. You find that you can put in your own hex color or hex code to get your brand color. That's important to have those handy with when you're creating your graphics, so you can keep that same color consistent on everything. So I really like this site as a way to illustrate that idea, and it's kind of fun to look through and see the difference in the brand personalities just by the colors. So now to get your own colors, there's a site that is free that I really enjoy. It's called coolers.co. And you open it up and it has this fancy little page. Just click Get Started, or you can go up here in the upper right and Explore button. So when I click on that, you can find some popular ones. By default, it's going to show you the latest. But you can look up here and click on Best. Hey, why not? Let's not reinvent the wheel. You can click on Best. And you might find one that you connect with. I like to find one with kind of a good variety of colors from dark to light. So something like this is nice. Even this is pretty good. So you got to spend a little time. This is probably the hardest part of branding, is getting your colors figured out. So I'd say finding one color is a good starting point, but this is a full palette you could find here, and they're going to be very professionally done. And when you click on these, I guess they make you sign in. Let's see if I can view it. There we go. When you click on it, it will give you those codes. So once you find the codes, you're good to go, and you want to kind of store those and keep them handy. So you can export as a PDF, an image. I can just download it as a PDF and have that on file. So now, boom, you know how much you would pay to go have a designer do this for you. That's why these tools are so amazing, that you can get a personal brand that looks awesome. So that's one of the hardest things you have to do, is figure out your colors.
See, I was
You know what to
thinking,
do right now?
I was thinking if you
What's that?
got this right, you could go to Fiverr, hand it to a Fiverr guy, and probably do a better job for you. You know,
Exactly. And that's a good point too, is this will give you a better understanding of why things look good or why they don't, and give you more control. So if you are going to hire a designer and you show them this, if you came to me, I'm like, oh, this guy is going to be a great client to work with, because I know I'm going to make him happy, because he kind of knows what he wants. And I can do a better job and not have to sit around myself and think about the colors of what they would want. But you give it to me, saves me time, and gets you what you want faster.
mm-hmm.
So I hope that these couple minutes we just spent on that will save you some, or help you get better results down the road, whatever you do with your design. If you hire somebody, finding a color is a great starting point. Try to breeze through these. Typography, I like to use Google Fonts, and there's a lot of great Google fonts out there. I have a couple links here, and some of the ones that we use with 22 Social are right here. And you'll find these in a lot of the design tools that you use online. I believe, you know, I haven't tried Adobe Spark too much, but they probably have a lot of these similar fonts. I know that Canva has just about all of these. But the key here is going to be to find up to 2 fonts, one with a good style, like you know, the personality, and then one that's just easy to read. So I know Leto, I know Lance, you're a big fan of Leto. This is a really solid font. Leto, Open Sans, even Arial.
Mm-hmm.
You know, those are great just for getting
completely readable.
making it really easy to read. Exactly. So they call it a header and a body font, right? Or yeah, header and body font. So the header can be more stylistic and get your personality across. So if you want to check out some more on that, I have the links here. You're going to get this at the end, but I have an article on right here, a great one that Canva put out on pairing your fonts. But again, that shouldn't be too difficult to figure that one out. Once you find it, it will make your life easier. You can always use those fonts. Now the fun part here, images. Putting all your graphics together, a huge part of design is the photos that you use. And my favorite site for finding photos is pexels.com.
Mm-hmm.
You're a fan of this site?
Oh, almost everything I do.
Andrew,
It's
I just
super
wanted to interrupt you for one quick second. Jennifer did have a question.
Sure.
Jennifer is asking, any suggestions for apps or websites that create professional pamphlet designs? She's been unhappy with the ones that she has found for her recent open houses.
I haven't had to do too much of that in years, so I actually don't know of a site to go to get that done. Interesting. Pamphlet designs. I have to do some research. You know, if I do find something, I'll post it in the group. Lance, remind me of that, but I'll take a look. I haven't done like a trifold or something. Now I do have some systems to create a PDF, but that's probably a little bit different than what you're looking for. It's been several years since I made a trifold or something like that, so I'm not sure, but I'll keep an eye out if I find something. But if you do find somewhere, you know, at least this foundation here will help you get it to look right and match the rest of your branding. So that's the best I could say right now.
I have some ideas, Andrew, but we'd have to talk later.
Good. We'll hash that one out and post something. We'll give you our results in the group. How about that, Lance?
Cool.
Okay, so Pexels. So if you want to find some free stock photos, this is the place to do it. It's all free to use. You can learn more about their stuff, but you can basically do whatever you want with these photos. Their license is wide open to use for commercial use. So you can feel safe that anything you grab in here can be used for all of your marketing, promotions, videos, downloads, anything you need to make, even your pamphlets. So if you find something here, you can search for photos, search by popular searches. You can browse up here by the couple options, popular is always a good way to go. And a few different options, even by color. So here's something pretty cool. If we go grab that color, where was it? Let's see, I'll grab this color code. Maybe this is purple here. Once you have your color, you can even search for photos by color and find some photos that match. So if I look up here, what happened when you search for photos is it puts this in the little search bar. If I paste in my own hex code, now it found me a bunch of purple images.
Wow.
So a fun trick to find kind of branded, already branded photos that might match the rest of your designs. As far as downloading these, you can go ahead and click on it. Over here, you have a couple options with the size that you download. So you can get a really, really high resolution picture that would work great on printed stuff as well. Now, as far as photography goes, a quick trick. I'm not sure if you guys all know about this. It could be great for getting photos of your houses or your personal portraits, really any photos that you take. And I use this principle for just going out and taking a picture of the sunset or something, is this rule of thirds. It's a kind of a scientific approach to design or photography, even design, but photography in particular. The eye is drawn to these points on the image. So if you can line up things you see in video especially, so if you're doing live stream and you want to get some kind of professional look here, you can consider this. It might be kind of tough just sitting in front of your computer, but if you're doing a little more professional shoot, you can consider the rule of thirds. This is commonly used in high-level video production, something you can replicate very easily with your own stuff.
Excellent.
And if you want more on that, I do have actually a cool video and a full article showing you more examples. It's one of those like little things that can make a huge difference. People are going to wonder how you make all your stuff look amazing. The image editors I use, Camera Plus. Okay, this app, if you have an iPhone or I think an iPad too, there's a button on here. It's called Clarity. I think they have a picture of it here. Some of my favorite editing apps here. You were talking about
that for home shots, right?
Yeah, dude. You were saying a good photo, right, can make all the difference. Mm-hmm. They have this button called Clarity, and they call it one tap awesomeness. And dude, you wonder how I get my amazing photos? This button makes my photos incredible, especially like a landscape photo or, it's not great with faces because it'll kind of mess up the person's face. But as far as a house picture, oh my gosh, you can have the coolest photos. And these will really jump off the page when you post them on social media. So it's a couple bucks, I think like $2 for that, Camera Plus. I don't think they have it for Android yet, but maybe they do by now. Filters is another one that has some amazing, like beyond Instagram filters. I'm talking crazy cool stuff. Let's see. The other ones are kind of obvious. And then more links to free photos. All right, now this last trick here, symbols. If you want to get a quick graphic put together or even brand your whole business with a logo, go to thenounproject.com. And what this is a worldwide directory of designers from around the world who contribute their own icons. And you can search for anything, real estate. You're going to find probably more icons than I've ever found anywhere on any other site. This is ridiculous how many you get here. There's a lot of options here. It kind of can be overwhelming. But what I'd like to do is search for something quick and then find a graphic or something that I like, click on it, and what they have is this more like this button, which is kind of handy. So if you click more like this, you could just download it. I'll talk more about that in a second. But if you click more like this, it'll give you some relevant images. This one didn't do as good of a job as normal, but usually you get some pretty interesting stuff show up. It's really well indexed with keywords. So when you search for things, maybe do home and happy. Who knows? What'll show up? Okay, cats, right? So that's kind of relevant, but you might find like a little heart in a house. So you can get some interesting results here. And like I said, this is an incredible directory of icons. When you're ready to download one to use it, you click on it and you can just download. Now, I think I'm logged in with my account. Yeah, so I have their $10 a month plan. What you get with $10 a month is unlimited downloads. So I'd highly recommend paying $10 and going crazy in here for a day and build out a whole library, create a huge folder of icons that you might want to use. When you download it, you download it as a PNG. Now, Lance, you got some crazy tricks with SVG. I haven't explored that yet.
I download both of them just in case I want to mess with it.
Okay, so there's two options. I just stick with PNG. Lance, we're gonna explore that down the road with how cool you made the logos for this Real Estate Live whole branding with this like one icon or a couple icons, I guess you combined.
Yep.
But I just download the PNG, and what it looks like on your computer is an image like this. It's high resolution. It's yours to use. You can use it for commercial purposes. You can put in all your stuff. You just can't sell it. Okay, so if you want to go sell icons, that's the only like limitation you have. And you can't go make a T-shirt line out of this unless you go through some more, go contact them and figure that one out. But what you get for $10, you can basically have fun in here one day, download a whole bunch of icons that you want to have on your computer, and then you'll have these handy to make your graphics. You can upload them into any of your graphic editing tools and have really cool looking graphics. Let's see. One more thing to point out, if you do find one, this could really be a great tip, is to keep that consistency of your designs. See how this is like a lightweight kind of line design here. It's not filled in or anything. It's a unique style of icon. What you can look is who it was by and if it was in a collection. So this happens to have a collection, Dream Icons Collection. If you click on that, you're going to open up more icons in that collection. Now, this one wasn't super relevant to real estate. Unfortunately, you didn't get a lot here, but you will find similar icons. The design style, at least, is the same. So there you go, Lance. You have two. You have your castle and your home that you could use for your graphics.
Andrew, what was the name of that site again? The name of the site?
thenounproject.com.
Thenounproject.com.
And it'll be in that PDF, right, Andrew?
Yeah, so that's where was I? Right here. So yeah, there it is, thenounproject.com. So having all these elements, what we're doing is the upfront work to get all these elements together. It's a little bit of upfront work, but it saves you a ton of time later. And ideally, you're not going to go back and do this again because you get it all out of the way once, and now all your graphics you make are going to be simple. And to put this together, we won't get into this today, but I have a system to put all these elements together, and that's part of this free video I have for you as well. So when you get this PDF, you have a video where I show you how to do this, and it's all free to get this PDF and the video. So you can check that out. And there's kind of how it puts together. So I have a little system for you to put it together, create your background graphic, create your brand icon, or just your profile picture here, and pop in your colors. So you have them all in one place, and you can even print this out and put it on your desk. So you have all your brand identity elements in one place that you can use. All right, the next step, I'll try to get to this quick. I know we're pushing the time here and I want to take questions. Using Google Slides, I'll just kind of point out some of the benefits of this. If you're totally confused about what the heck, use Google Slides to do design. There's a lot of benefits to this. And I wish I could spend all day here talking to you and convincing you to consider this for yourself. If you do plan to do a lot of graphics, or you're someone who's really planning on marketing your business online, especially if you're doing video and whatnot, getting your whole brand identity together, your online presence upgraded, and then almost daily promotional graphics, right? You want to be in control of this. And if you're using, some of the random tools out there, it might not be consistent all the time. So this is a system to let you simplify that and put it all in one place. And I call it the design tool nobody's talking about. Here are some of the basics, right? So it's cloud-based. So it's basically like PowerPoint in the cloud. And it takes up no storage on your computer. You can collaborate with other people and work on it as a team. The file management, it's nice. It's really nice to not have all this stuff on your computer if you're going to make a bunch of graphics. I love having it just right there on a web browser. So anywhere I go in the world, I can just pull up my Google Drive, and I've got all of my graphics there. I can go back and edit them, create a new one, make a quick copy of a graphic that I made and download it. And it has all the basic. I mean, it's super basic, so that's kind of nice. It's even easier than PowerPoint, okay, to edit. So the basic stuff in here that you need to create designs. But what I do is I push it even further. And I don't know if anyone else is doing this, but I'll tell you, it's done wonders for me. And just to point out like what I mean when I push this thing, every graphic that I do for 22 Social has been done with Google Slides. So all this stuff I've made with Google Slides. Every graphic we make, like this for a video, this promotional graphic here, everything that you see, I do with Google Slides. For our notes on our fan page, now we're big on Facebook, right? Which I think most people are nowadays. Facebook notes are awesome. So I made a template to like create note covers like this. And you see the concept, right? I'm bringing all these elements together. The background with a subtle transparent image, a big high contrast text over the top. And I literally can make this in 2 minutes. That's where you can get to. When you need to make something, it can take you 2 minutes because I have a Google Slide file that I created this with. And all I have to do when I have another note is I open up my Google Slide, make a copy of that slide, change the text on it, download it as an image. And that's really the biggest hack that I could share with you is the power of what you can do. So you can also publish the whole thing to the web with one click. So you can create a slide deck presentation and publish it to the web. So it's basically a website. It's an interactive website. You can put any kind of graphics, even videos into it in just a few seconds. Let's see, full screen. You can embed it anywhere as well, which is pretty sweet. If you got some websites, you can embed your stuff in there. But beyond that, you can create PDF files like the one I'm showing you right now. This is all made on a Google Slide. You can create PDF downloads for all of your reports or anything like that. You can create single images. So every slide can be turned into an image. That's probably what you can do in PowerPoint and everything too, but that's really, really valuable. And then keeping it all in one system is nice. And then the real kicker here that I think separates it is when you start to do your designs and start to build your kind of design system inside Google Slides, you can literally go and take a graphic from your business card file and paste it into your Facebook ad graphic. That's the biggest problem that I had with using all these other fancy tools, even online tools like Canva and whatever else is out there, is I make something nice there and I just want to put it on my other graphic, but it's really hard to do that. So having it all on Google Slides platform lets me just kind of open up one file, copy something and paste it into another. As far as doing that, you know, this is kind of what it looks like. You can create a whole PDF, so you can download the entire thing. And the best part is the way that you do this is it's the same system as editing a presentation, editing your slide deck. You just change the size of the file. So you could change it into the perfect size of a piece of paper. And now when you design, you're using the same tools that you already know how to use, but you're creating a totally different type of presentation. And then you can download the whole thing as a PDF. And then individual slides. So there's basically two ways I use it. One is using the whole deck. So I'm assuming every slide in here is going to be one unified presentation. That's great for a PDF or an ebook, right? So your checklist, your report, it's pretty nice to be able to do that. And then, and like I said, you're making your report, and you can copy a graphic from here and pop it into your Facebook ad graphic to promote your report. And that's the cool factor here. All right, turning slides into images. This is where you can create individual graphics just by downloading it as one image. And I'm not selling you anything here. This is free. You can go do this on Google Slides right now, right? This is a free tool, and that's what I'm all about, right? Replicating things and making the most of free tools, but doing it in a way that's systematized, so you're not all over the place. I found that Google Drive and Google Slides is, if used correctly, can save you a ton of time. And now attracting customers, I can't get too far into this, but I can show you that I have a free course for you in here. I've included videos on my top 3 design hacks, which go into more depth on using the free photos, using the icons, and also using Google Drive. Then I have a free template for you. So if you're totally lost and you don't know what the heck I'm talking about with using Google Drive, I have a template for you. So what this template gives you is a pre-made template to create graphics. Okay, it's going to look like this. When you open it up, I named it for you. It's a perfect size for a Facebook ad and a post. Okay, so you could use it in a lot of ways. And the templates look kind of like this. So the way I set it up is it has images that you can just swap out with your photos. You can put in your own photo here or your logo. Text you can edit. And each one of these has a little bit different variation. It's designed to be pretty friendly to Facebook's advertising terms, so you can boost this and put some money behind it because of the low text ratio here. A lot of these are pretty sweet. And you can see how I try to do the thinking for you and help you incorporate where to put a big icon and where to put that photo and how your text and your action buttons can look. So this is what I try to solve is, hey, instead of trying to get super creative, just go grab one of my templates and pop in your graphics that you already got. And the coolest thing about this is, you can watch this in my videos, but to get all your own custom colors in here, you can just pop them in, paste them in real quick, and you have your custom color palette loaded in. So you can just choose from your custom colors. Up, it hid it from me. Can't zoom in for you. But your colors will be loaded in here. So you can just choose your custom color, and you'll have your brand elements right there. Now, the one more magical thing about this, view master, I use what's called master slides. Maybe you're familiar with it if you're a kind of advanced PowerPoint user. But a master slide lets you edit the whole thing with one file. So I can change the background color on all of these. And I can even change the fonts. So if you want to edit your font and go with something like this, yeah, it might not be the best, but let's just say that was your font. Change the background color. You could totally rebrand the whole thing. I don't know, let's go with, let's just say this orange. Now the whole thing is updated. So you only have to do it once, and now all of your slides here are customized. If you want to download this now, you just swap out your photos. You can replace the image. Just upload an image real quick and pop it in there. And then just file and download. So at that point, we're pretty much at the end of this thing. I know we want to open up the questions, and we got a winner to announce here in just a second, but that's the whole beauty of it. So I have videos, these videos are going to really guide you through that. If you want to, I want to just present this idea to you and get all the key points across so you can decide for yourself if this is something that makes sense. And then I've got, I can show you how to get all my templates. I got templates for everything. Everything I design, I turn into a template so that you could basically do what I do in, without a lot of work. And it's kind of fun working with this group. And Lance, I mean, it's been fun to work with you on this and get your feedback on the templates and what will work best for you. Mm-hmm. You really push the envelope yourself with what's possible with this. And I saw today someone made a whole ebook. Did you see that thing? It was unbelievable. It was like, talk about.
I didn't have time to download it. I was out and about all day, but I wanted to look at it. So. Yeah,
I could pull it up, but it's amazing what you can do with this. And it's fun to see people using this system. It's pretty new and a little bit different, but I'll tell you what, it's amazing when you get the hang of it. So questions, what do you got for me?
Does anybody want to pop in here? Any questions? Let me go into my database of questions here.
Thanks, Sonia, for popping in the answers in there.
Right. Well, mostly I'm kind of like a testimonial because I was using Canva and doing stuff, and I've made an ebook. What do you do now when your home hasn't sold? Ebook using your stuff. I was able to do it in a couple hours on a weekend, and it all just matched up with my branding because I'd done that brand identity kit with you, and so there was really no picking what were my colors, what were my fonts. It was just a matter of cutting and pasting words and pictures into the document. And
yeah, so maybe we talk about, the pain point you see from people in the real estate profession. If you're at the point where you're trying to take control of your marketing and do this yourself and really being independent with this, and it's going to save you a ton of time if you can figure it out. Because I'll tell you what, seeing people go hire people to do design, it's frustrating to just even see the process I mean, I have friends who are like, I hired a guy and I got the file. I have one thing I need to fix, but I can't get the guy to fix it. I mean, you're talking days and weeks where you have this one thing you need to get done and you're not able to do it. So I'm sure you can relate to that. So what do people do without something they can manage themselves? I mean, what were you doing before, or what do you see people doing right now? Because it's frustrating.
I see people, like you said, I think a lot of real estate agents can take good pictures, and they're given some colors and some stuff from their brokerage, and they'll kind of run with that, or they'll kind of go their own way. But when you look at them across, their different platforms, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, what we're doing on all the different live streaming now, their stuff's all different all across the place. A lot of times.
Yeah, it's not helping. And you want to be proud of your business. You want to have that good look and impress people, because if you don't, they might ignore you. Really, you got to really put your best foot forward in today's web. Do your best. It doesn't have to be crazy, right? You don't have to start with like this crazy thing, but you need to be in control because it changes so fast, right? The lean startup concept, which has caught fire amongst entrepreneurs, is you need a way to put something out there quick, get feedback, improve it, put it back out there. And that's what I want to give you, is the control and the ability to do that. These are some of my basic elements that you can now take and run with and explore yourself. And I hope you check out Google Slides, because with a little bit of guidance, you can really take control of your own design and marketing and do a lot of this yourself. And you're going to move much faster than your competitors, because they're waiting days to get their files back, and you just can't do it. So everyone's got to be pretty independent nowadays.
Well, one of the questions that is here is your website, and I'm going to.
Uh-oh, did you freeze? Did I freeze? Did you freeze?
I think Lance froze.
Okay. You never know if it's on my side or
No,
right to where we're gonna give my link. Thanks, Lance.
Well, yeah, that was one of the questions, was what, where can we find you? What's the best website to find you at? And then regarding, the packages that you have, is that all inclusive in your website, or how does that work?
Yeah, I've got one link for you that Lance is going to post in there right now. And so he's going to pop it in the comments that you can get. You'll get this. I want to track it. It's a special link because I want to track it, because I've got a deal in there that, you can get all this for free. You'll get my basic training, some of the bonus training I put in there, the Facebook ad template, and a full guide on how to do this for yourself if you want to do all this. And then I've got templates. I created what's called a Design Hacker Club, and it's just a group where I just upload all my files into, and you have access to all of it. I do live training every week to kind of do some design training and take questions and help out with your graphic design and get your feedback on what you need. So that's $9.99 a month is that deal. And then I also have a lifetime access to that. If you don't want to deal with monthly, just want to get lifetime access, you can get all my stuff and everything I create going forward. Plus, to me to help you get your stuff off the ground. So if you want some help, I could do that for you. And I've only got limited spots. That's why I want to have a special link for you, Lance, to pop in there, because that's how I know that you guys came from here in this training, so I can make sure I take care of you, because it's a special deal. I don't do the one-on-one thing anywhere else, and that's $149 to get the lifetime access plus 1 hour with me, and we could get some of this stuff done for you.
Cool. I'm sitting here trying to post this link into the chat now, and I can't get it to open up.
We'll find it in there. Don't worry, everyone. You'll get it.
Yep. Okay. Well, do we have any questions out there? Anybody want to pop in and talk with Andrew about your design problems?
I saw Jennifer had a question. Jennifer has a great question. Is branding, if you're working for a company that has their own colors and fonts, do you recommend reaching out to use theirs and when promoting your Facebook business page? So it's a tough one, Lance. I mean, you could probably speak to that more than me because you have a lot more experience with that kind of situation. Do you want to take that one?
I have my own thoughts, but I'm with a national brokerage. And so I just grabbed one of their colors and then tried to match up some other colors with that would be more along how I felt. I didn't want to be exactly my franchise's color scheme in my branding. And so that's one approach you could take, but I've seen people go completely, with their own branding, even though they're part of, another organization. You have to be, each organization may have some rules that they have to look at for that. Did I freeze or am I good? Can you hear me?
No, you're good.
Yeah, I froze there a little bit.
That's the one thing I don't know specifically is, the rules, regulations.
No, and each one's going to be a little different, and that. Okay. But definitely, people don't buy or sell houses. You don't go down to like McDonald's. You don't like go down to this. It's with people that you do business in real estate, and so that's why it's important for us to brand ourselves as realtors, and pull a whole. What we're all about, what, the symbols have meaning, and the words and the colors and the images, present messages to people like you were talking about. And I think real estate agents get that. It's just that a lot of times we don't have the skills to put it all together as easy as what you've, don't have a system for it.
Andrew, I have a question.
Go for it.
How do you feel about the branding in terms of a caricature versus your picture versus a picture of a house or an icon of some sort?
I go back and forth with that. I have the same challenge. My own personal one, I ended up using an icon because I was having issues with people thinking it was my personal page. They thought it was my personal profile, especially on Facebook where you have your personal profile and your business page. And I just wanted to separate the two. So that's a tough one though. It's easy to change. Yeah, I'd say get an icon that you want to kind of brand yourself with, that you like, that's going to be kind of consistent. You could put it in places on your graphics. And so it's another way to associate. So using your face is great. And in real estate, you definitely want to use your face and probably focus on that right now. But if you can get some kind of icon that tells a little more about what you're doing and use that consistently, it doesn't have to be your logo, but it's kind of like your brand element that you can splash into places to keep your brand look really strong and consistent. Eventually, you could switch back and forth between it. If you want to kind of brand yourself generically and use an icon, then you'll have that already somewhat branded. And so that's kind of the process that I went through personally myself, was using my face. And then I found out I just didn't like the kind of challenge I was having of separating my personal page from my business page. So I did go to the icon, but I still use my face in a lot of my graphics and marketing. But the icon is what I'm pushing forward now. So in real estate, I'd say it seems like using your face, your picture is kind of essential, and that's important to do. But if you can bring in an element or find an icon that you like that you can sprinkle in and start to use in your graphics, that'll be helpful for you.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Makes sense. You're going to do it? You're going to go find an icon?
Yeah. I'm going to look at that noun project. I already played with the Clarity app. That's an awesome app.
Yeah, that's a
Sonia is an icon. If you haven't watched any of her live streams, she's an icon in herself, in and of herself. So.
Yeah, with live video too, it's when you get to the point where you have your own overlay graphics for your videos, having an icon there, they see your face, but then it's another way to associate yourself with them. So they have more connection points. You can go into a lot of psychology about the touch points people have with you and how they remember you. And having more of those elements that they see over and over. The color is huge. So keeping that same color they see over and over from you. An icon is helpful, even if you're using your picture as your main brand. But it's another touch point that they see it on a graphic and they're like, oh, that's I know who that is, right? So it could just be a little thing you add in.
Yeah, and I really love your video overlay templates, Andrew. I just haven't had a chance to work with them that much, but that's a big thing of what we're doing here is doing video, and we want to repurpose some of it. And at that point, to take a video and then do the overlay, with that
Let me show
icon.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, check this out. So some of the training I do. Can you see my screen? Okay.
It's taken a minute to come up. It's black.
Give us a
Last time.
cricket sound effect. I think it's working, man. I think it should be working. I think they can see me. I just want to get your. You good? You nothing?
Great bandwidth. So.
Ah, man. Where is that page? Real estate. Let's see. Can you see me? I'll just check real quick. No, they can't, huh? What the heck? Maybe there's a bug on my end. Who knows?
No, we can't see you, Andrew.
You can? Maybe it's me.
No, I can't. Now we can.
Okay.
You saw me. I'm switching back to my screen. Is it not working? Screen share not working? Oh, that's a bummer.
I got a black screen. That's what happened the first time, and then you got it to work. There it is.
You see my screen now?
Yes.
Really? Okay. Let me just check
I can see your screen.
Oh, wow. So it's super slow. I guess I Google. Yeah, there you go. All right. So let's take a look at, just so you can kind of see what I'm talking about here. Video overlay. So this is that Joey Smooth dude that I do all my testing with and demos. This is one of the templates. So I try to take the coolest graphics and design that's out there and turn them into templates that you can just use as part of the system. So this is the one I was demoing with, and we put together a quick overlay graphic real quick. This would be, you in the background here is transparent, and you put your name and your, title, your website, and your icon down at the bottom. So the templates that are included here are like a bunch of different variations. I try to give you options so you can find the best one for you. And because there's no right answer, whatever feels right. And I give you an example here, what it looks like over your video. So as you scroll down, you'll see all the different templates that you could choose from. And these are cool. What these are is you've probably seen this on Facebook Live. If you're doing like a real production, you can have some kind of transparent overlay on a Facebook Live to say, hey, we're starting soon, come on in. They could see you in the background, so you'd be moving around behind this, but they have this graphic over the top to let them know you're starting soon.
Cool.
So cool idea, right? And that's if you're doing a little more advanced live streaming. It works for Hangouts as well. So a few of those options. So that's one of the templates. And you'll, these are all just easy to customize, right? So you just go in here, you change out your icon. And the way I even organize it and kind of teach to organize it is putting it all in your Google Drive so you can just pop it in here. Because I don't like to store stuff on my computer. My computer gets so messy. So I put them all in my Google Drive and have it all organized so that even my icons, I create an icon folder, and I can just go grab my icon and pop it in there. And here's one cool hack. What it does is you might have been thinking to yourself, well, if I download a black colored icon, how can I turn that into these, white icons, right? So if you click on it, go to image options. In Google Slides, you have the ability to kind of toggle the options of the image. What I found works, I was so happy when I found this, is you could crank the brightness all the way up to 100 and it'll change the color. Watch this. So without having to go to Photoshop and all that, you can change the color from black to white. And it's funny because if at 90%, it stays totally black and then it goes to white. So that was a cool little hack, and that's really an easy way to do this. This is the kind of little things that just save you a ton of time. And then now you can go in and just customize your stuff, change the text, and then download the image.
Awesome. I hope you guys out there getting ideas. It's giving me ideas just watching you do this.
I feel like if you're doing live streaming, man, there's so much stuff. You're so active on social media and you're doing so much marketing that I think this is a really good fit for what you're all teaching. Because I really believe, as I said, I've been doing live streaming for years, but it's so much more than that. The promotion alone to get people to come watch you and to follow up with them and all the marketing you have to do to reach out to them. And that's where I recommend checking out Facebook Notes. I mean, I made this one the other day. This is another one of my templates that I use, and I show you how to get. You were pumped about this one, right, Lance? This template for a note cover.
Yeah.
Dude, you made an awesome one, even with this graphic, right? So how do you get a graphic like this computer image? I've got a training showing you a free site to get that done in about 2 minutes, all on your own. You can do it unlimited times and use it for all your graphics. You put your face on a computer, come watch our live stream, right? And then put your text in here. It's pretty sweet. You look so pro, so fast. I get so pumped up about it.
It's free.
Free, yeah, this site to get a graphic like that, and then using my template, just pop it in there. Again, my stuff, I try to keep it as cheap as I possibly can. So my templates are all just $10 a month to get access to all those. And Facebook Notes, man, I mean, one last tip for y'all is try these out. This is a cool stuff. You can embed your videos and repurpose your videos inside of Facebook Notes on your Facebook page. And then you can even put in call to action links throughout, have people link over to your stuff. So
yeah, just say, I'm thinking about doing like a guide for like a buyer's guide in a Facebook note, branding it all out, links to different resources, and then emailing the link to that, to a buyer who comes in through my lead generation, and just different pieces of information that we want to give people as we're going through the closing, the contract to close process. You could have a Facebook note all ready to go. Boom, email it to them. And especially cool if you've brought them into your system through social media and Facebook, and you're already communicating with them on Facebook. Why not present them some of your stuff right back on Facebook? So the note, I mean, I've been looking at what you're doing with notes, and I want to incorporate it into my real estate practice.
Just make the most of free tools. I'm telling you,
yeah, it's like a blog post.
Yeah,
it's in between a blog post and a PDF. It's somewhere caught in between, or a flyer. I don't know what. It's different. So
it is. It's
the hack we need is to be able. The hack we need is to be able to click a button on a Facebook note and have it print out as a nice PDF. That's the hack we need, Andrew.
You know what? They got to figure that out, right? You would think. I wonder if you can. I'll try it right now. Well, I think we're at the hour. So, man,
yeah.
I like the hack. It's like, what can we do to make this easier for everybody? And I never used to blog and all that stuff. I showed you that note. I wrote that in about one morning. I sat down and wrote it all. I never blogged or anything because blogging tools. I'm a web designer and I cannot stand using WordPress and all that. I'm sorry. I mean, I know there's benefits, but it's the maintenance and the hassle of doing all that. I really like Facebook Notes because your stuff looks amazing. You can knock it out real quick, and it's already on Facebook. You're building your equity on your fan page, and then it's just so convenient and easy, and it's easy to share, like you said. It's really beautiful looking too. So now that they let you embed videos into it, you can now repurpose your YouTube videos, your Facebook Live videos into a note, and maybe say, hey, like a podcast episode.
Or here's a collection of tips on an issue, all in one note, right?
Yeah, I mean, what I would do is write out the note before I go live. This is actually what I do now. So I write out a note before I do a video hangout or something. And then I go live and talk about those points. I just thought about them and listed them down. And then when I'm done with the video, I put a link to that note from the video. And you can also embed the video in there and then share and promote your notes that has everything. It has the video recording of you talking about it, all the notes from your episode in that note. It is a note. And then you have a link that you can put into an email or something, blast it out or share it on other profiles. And at the bottom of that note, you can put an action button to go contact you, sign up for your stuff. It's pretty sweet.
And then with your graphics, you can make it pop. You can make it just and look professional. Couple of questions really quick. What software do you use to screen share during your live streams? Coming from Giacomo.
Well, Hangouts lets you do that, right? So is that the question? Or?
I think
Hangouts
so.
Lets you just share your screen. The other one with Facebook Live is OBS. You tried that out yourself?
Yeah, it was too clunky for me. I was messing around with Smile Time, and I think I like Smile Time. It's just way easy. So.
I'll have to try that. OBS is pretty sweet, man. You can put.
I know, but yeah.
Okay, well, I'm gonna try Smile Time then. But OBS is definitely more advanced. It's a different level. So unless you're doing like professional, that's what I mean. You can do some pretty cool like TV quality stuff, and it's a free tool, which I like. So
Now, have you ever helped any real estate agents create a listing presentation? Jennifer asks.
Listing presentation. I don't even know what that is, so probably not.
It's a slide deck that they take in when they're going to do the face-to-face presentation to get the listing. And so they have to go in and sell themselves on what they're going to do. And you're competing quite often against other agents. And
interesting.
So, I mean, I'm sure that you could help if somebody, yeah, you probably have to, you could come up with a pretty cool system if you were to work with 2 or 3 agents and help them develop their listing presentation.
Yeah, it'd be worth looking into. Could you see my screen?
It went black again.
Crazy. Okay, so we got bugs with Hangouts. This is just free Google Hangouts, so that's, I don't know. Anyway, I was going to show you some of the, I do have slide deck presentation templates.
Yes, right. And that's probably, in fact, that's what I'm using for my listing presentation right now, Andrew.
Is
your
it?
slide deck templates. Your template, I've done it, put it into my own listing presentation.
Okay, yeah, I've got a lot of different ideas. I don't know if you can see my screen. Can you? No.
No, whatever you did after a while, it comes up. So.
I do nothing. I just sit here and wait. So I can't show you, I guess. You know, I'll download it. And anyway, we're probably over the hour. So I've got a whole deck of templates for a presentation specifically. So could be helpful or useful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's a good set of slides that you can adjust to whatever you're trying to communicate in your listing presentation. And, you know, listing presentations can be very unique agent to agent and company to company. So
gotcha.
It's what you really you're branding yourself and, you know, getting the sale. You know, it's your slide deck. It's like, think of it like the slide deck that a startup company would go to use to get investors. Same kind of concept.
Gotcha. Interesting. Yeah, that makes sense. So you want it to be good, right?
Well, okay, we're going to pick a winner here for the free.
Oh, yeah, we got a winner. Let's do it.
Free lifetime membership to the Design Hacker Club. Tell them what they get, and I'll go into the app
with your lifetime membership.
Exactly.
Well, I stacked it up. So that deal, I'm selling it for $149, which is, I think it's kind of introductory price because I'm just paving the way right now and getting this thing off the ground. But it's valued, I'd say valued at over $500. All my templates. I don't know if you can put a price on how much work I put into these templates. You get everything that I've done and will do going forward. I usually pop out a new template every week. And so that's what you get. And my weekly live training. So if you have questions about design, part of my club is every week you can hang out with me and I'll answer questions, show you all my coolest stuff, everything I find that you can use. I'll show you my insider tips and tricks. And like I said, everything I do is replicatable. So I don't do anything that you can't do. That's my #1 goal. Make sure that you could do it in a matter of a few clicks, and I'll show you exactly how. So that's all part of it. You get access to that for as long as I do it, which I assume will be at least another year, hopefully far beyond that. So you want to choose the winner?
Yep. Let me click the button.
Where's our sound effects?
Okay. Our winner is a gentleman named Kenny Fast. And cool.
Kenny Fast.
I don't even know who he is, but we'll reach out to him and let him know that he's got, you know, or we could go with somebody who's here, but then we'd probably have to keep clicking forever.
No, I'll reach out to him. Send me his profile. I'll shoot him a message and get him hooked up with that. And if you guys have any questions for me, you know, you can contact me. The link is down below. If you can't find the link, just go to designwithandrew.com and you'll find my stuff. So that's important. Yeah, I was going to do a drum roll, but you went.
There we go. That's cool.
Oh, well. Kenny Fast. And my last name is.
Thank you so much, Andrew. Kenny
What's
Fast.
that?
I'll send you his information.
Perfect.
And Sonia is still there?
Yes, I am.
Cool. All right. I think we're ready to close this thing down, unless you got any more questions.
No, I'm good.
Okay. Seems to be a delay here. So, all right, Andrew. Thanks so much, and we will be in touch, buddy.
Thank you, Lance. It was fun. Thank you, Sonia. Nice to meet you.
Bye. Same here.
Bye.